Hey everyone, I'm Asa Rehman. I hope you're doing well. This is the Game Week 21 preview show on the spots. Fantasy Draft League managers, you might still have a little bit of time to pick up that free player off the waiver wire, and this video could help you out. I'll be talking about the key players from each fixture in Game Week 21. And remember, for the best fantasy draft content, subscribe to my channel, The Spot, and ding the bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the form rating that I use in the preview shows, well, I look at a player's 4-game average instead of the 30-day form rating that the FPL site uses. The 4-game average, I think, is just more consistent when comparing players at different clubs. And it's easy math. That's really why I like it. All right, let's get to the fixtures. We begin at Goodison Park, and my guy James Rodriguez is coming off a goal and an 8-point performance. I don't know how many people were hyping the Colombian as much as I was heading into Game Week 20, and I don't think he's going to slow down either. With that, I think we'll see an uptick in production from Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. He's a big buy low candidate for me. I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. All of DCM's 11 goals this season came before the James Rodriguez injury in Week 11. For Newcastle, they're hoping Alan St-Maximin can have a similar impact, but it's been Miguel Almiron who's been their best midfielder in recent weeks. He's coming off a 9-point game against Leeds last week and is averaging 3.25 in his last 4. Striker Callum Wilson got an assist on the Almiron goal in the last match to get to 5 points, but he hasn't found the net himself in 7 matches. Now to Crystal Palace and Wolves. Forward Wilfried Zaha scored his 9th goal of the season in a 7-point performance against West Ham, boosting his 4-game average to 3.25. Midfielder Eberechi Eze could be one to watch going forward. He's averaging 3 points in his last 4, and they have enticing matches against Wolves, Newcastle, and Leeds coming up. As for Wolverhampton, Willy Boly returned to the lineup a couple games ago and has scored 12 and 6 in each of those matches. The team has struggled offensively though, and they are hoping that Willian Jose can provide a spark. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts in this match. Now to Manchester City and Sheffield United. Ilkay Gundogan's stock is rising faster than GameStop. He's averaging 8.75, and he's another one that I've been hyping since this channel launched about a month ago. You can check the tape. The City backline is solid as well. The hot name this week is Joao Cancelo. He's coming off a 17-pointer and is averaging 7.75 in his last 4, but all the City defenders are performing right now. For Sheffield United, it's basically a copy and paste from the Game Week 20 preview show. John Fleck and David McGoldrick are the top 2 outfield fantasy players for the team, and if they do muster any offense, it's likely to involve one of them. Moving on to West Brom and Fulham at the Hawthorns. This is the fixture I picked up Matheus Pereira for after Game Week 19 when he recorded 24 points. I assumed he wouldn't do much against City last week, but he needs to show me something this week or else he's cut. As for Callum Robinson, he's the next best attacking option for West Brom. He is averaging 3.5 in his last 4. Fulham's Ademola Lookman has recently become their best option going forward, and he's shown some decent chemistry with Ivan Cavallero at times this season, so maybe the two can connect again this weekend. Now to the marquee match of the weekend. Arsenal hosting Manchester United. I keep waiting for Bukayo Saka to come back down to earth, but I'm realizing I may be waiting a while. He scored 4 goals in his last 6 and is averaging 8.25 fantasy points in his last 4. And striker Alex Lacazette has scored 5 goals in his last 6. United might have their hands full. Meanwhile, Paul Pogba has been one of their best fantasy players in recent weeks. He is averaging 6.25 in his last 4, and Harry Maguire scored in their recent 2-1 defeat to Sheffield. His 8 points marked the 8th time that he scored more than 4 points in a match this season. Southampton hosting Aston Villa. James Ward-Prowse recorded his 5th assist of the season in their last match, and Stuart Armstrong was on the receiving end of that assist. His goal against Arsenal marked his 3rd of the year. For Aston Villa, not many would have suspected it, but Matt Targett has been one of their most consistent fantasy players, averaging 5.75 in his last 4. He has an assist in each of his last 2 matches, but the best fantasy option on the team is still Jack Grealish. He's up to 113 points this year after scoring his 6th goal of the season. One of the things I've really enjoyed about making these preview videos is that it's allowed me to look at players on teams that I wouldn't normally consider. And I found players such as Thomas Soucek, Aaron Cresswell, and Matt Targett. If there are any players that you found off the waiver wire that you want to brag about, go ahead and do it in the comments below. Chelsea and Burnley at Stamford Bridge. Ben Chilwell might be the safest option from a fantasy perspective. He's averaging 3.25 in his last 4, and Christian Pulisic is the most interesting on the team. He came off the bench in his first match, reunited with his old boss Thomas Tuchel, and I expect him to see more playing time moving forward. Burnley's Ben Mee scored once again and is coming off back-to-back 7-point performances, and Dwight McNeil had a goal and an assist in Burnley's last match. His 13 points was his highest since he scored a 5 in the opener. Now to Leicester and Leeds. Youri Tielemans and James Maddison have been carrying the side in recent weeks, and the Foxes will need them to keep producing while Jamie Vardy is out. For Leeds, I'm excited to see what Rafinha does in the second half of the season. He does seem to be settling in, and his 2 goals in 4 games is proof of that. Meanwhile, Jack Harrison will keep doing his best to make me look bad for dropping him a week ago. He's averaging 4.75 in his last 4 and has 3 goals in his last 7. But helping me get over Harrison are the hammers on my team. I have both Thomas Soucek and Aaron Cresswell, and they've been great recently. It'll be a tough test against Liverpool this week, though. Trent Alexander-Arnold got a goal and an assist in a 14-point performance against Tottenham, while Sadio Mane had a goal and 2 assists in that same match. Finally, Brighton and Tottenham. Lewis Dunk is coming off back-to-back clean sheets and is averaging 5.75 in his last 4. Neil Maupay has scored in every other game over the past 6 match weeks. He didn't score against Fulham, so he should score against Tottenham, right? Meanwhile, Spurs fans are preparing for life without Harry Kane for the next few weeks. Son Heung-min will look to add to his total of 12 goals this season, and Tanguy Ndombele might be trusted to help in the attack a little bit more, but you never know with Jose Mourinho. All right, I hope that helps in some way, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and ding the bell if you haven't already. We have some really exciting episodes coming up in the next month, so keep an eye out for those. Thanks so much for hanging out at the spot.